Well, we've now heard 13 cases in relation to the disgraced officer Derek Ridgewell. Today, hearing two of them nearly 50 years after those men were imprisoned. I'll start with the case of Ronald De'Souza. He was part of a group who later became known as the Stockwell Six. There was a group of 6 of them who were out for a night out when they were accused of attempting to rob Derek Ridgewell on the tube. He was at the time a plainclothed officer. He accused them of trying to rob them and later arrested them. They all pleaded guilty at the Old Bailey at a trial, but 5 of the men were convicted, 1 was acquitted. 4 of those men who were convicted later had their convictions quashed in 2021 after it was found that Derek Ridgewell was corrupt and racist and his evidence was therefore no longer reliable. Mr. De'Souza took some tracking down. Apparently he is so fed up with the justice system in this country, he didn't even turn up to court today to hear his conviction being quashed. What happened to Derek Ridgewell after that was that the tube mugging department at British Transport Police was disbanded. But instead of dismissing him, they moved him to another department where parcels were being sorted in a depot. It was there that he encountered the next group of men who we heard about today, including Errol Campbell in 1977. He and alongside 2 others were accused of conspiracy to steal and theft, and they were also convicted and jailed, despite telling jurors in their case at the Old Bailey that they had been beaten and bruised by police officers. Mr. Campbell was convicted and jailed for 18 months, and the impact on his life you heard there from his son speaking outside the court steps earlier today. And Ridgewell, meanwhile, he was central to the conviction. He gave evidence, and it now emerges that while he was giving evidence against Mr. Campbell and the 2 others, he himself was stealing from that very depot that he accused them of stealing from, and he was later imprisoned as a result of that. Mr. Campbell also not here to hear his case because he sadly died in 2004. What the judge said was he was taking his miscarriage of justice and the wrongful convictions to his grave.
And Sadia, as you mentioned, these are the 12th and 13th cases so far, I guess. Are there more?
Yeah, lawyers suspect that there may be many more in relation to not just Derek Ridgewell, but officers that he worked with, but also other disgraced officers across the country. So as you heard there, the lawyers calling for an automatic review, independent review of cases that are in relation to officers who are later discredited and disgraced. But also they want more openness from British Transport Police in reference to Mr. Campbell's case. They want to know who else was working with Derek Ridgewell at the time and why the police officer was not dismissed but moved to a different department where he could continue his corrupt and racist behaviour, they say. We have asked British Transport Police about this. They say that they are sorry and disgusted, and they sent us a statement saying we're continuing to review records relating to his corrupt practices, which includes those relating to officers who were associated with DS Ridgewell or may have assisted him in his criminal activity. And the review team has recently been provided with additional resources to support its work. They say they will review all of this and send it to the Criminal Cases Review Commission when it is complete.